Hello, class. It's Mr. Rivera. Today we are going to focus on contour line drawings. We briefly talked about it last class. Today we're going to focus on just contour lines. All right, so what is a contour line drawing? So contour line drawing defines the outline of a form as well as interior structure without the use of shading. So essentially, it's a drawing that shows the outline of the object being drawn. It does show some detail, but it does not have any shape. Okay, so here's an example of one we saw last time. So as you can see, there are some details, such as the creases and the fingernails, but there is no shading, and it's also mainly a continuous line. Okay, so why is learning this important? In reality, we already do this when we draw, but most of us don't realize that we are doing it. So when you're little, the first drawings you draw are usually just outlines of objects. And our goal is to draw using the correct methods that's going to help build our hand-eye coordination. Okay, so you can see here, this example here, drawn by a kindergartner, where everything that they draw is just an outline. There's no shading yet, and that's something that, you would learn eventually. Okay, this is an example done by a fifth grader of an apple. So as you can see, they actually did use the method without realizing it, only drawing the outline and just whatever main details they saw. Okay, so how do you do a contour line drawing? Pretty much when you're drawing this, you're trying not to lift up your pencil. You want to make sure you look at the object more than your paper. Make sure you are drawing slowly. Okay, and you are following the outline of the object with your eye. So your eye is slowly outlining the object, and as your eyes move, you want to move the marker or pencil, creating a line that matches the edges or contour of the object. So pretty much whatever your eye sees or is looking at, that's what your pencil or marker is drawing. Okay, so what we're going to do is a little activity here. I know this is a video, but what you can do is after I give you the directions, you can just pause the video, do the drawing, and then continue the video. Okay, so what you're going to do is to make this easier, instead of having you draw your hand, you are going to just trace it. Okay, and then you're going to look at those lines that you see on top of your hand, and you are going to draw them. All right, so first step, you trace your hand. Second step, you draw the lines. Now, I'm sure you guys won't have as many lines since this is a hand of an older person, but I should at least see your nails and as well as the lines at the joints of your fingers and maybe even your knuckles. So let me just show you guys a quick demonstration of how to do this activity. All right, so for classwork, we're going to draw the lines on our hands. So we're going to make this easy. So instead of trying to draw your hands, all you have to do is trace them. All right, so you're going to want to draw this side of your hand, not this side, since it will be backwards. So the things I'm looking for is these lines that I see. So I'm not trying to do shading or anything real fancy, but what this activity is doing is it's making me look at my hand, something that you see all the time, and actually notice the details, because that's what drawing is about. You also should make sure that you are looking at your hand more than your paper, so your eyes should be going back and forth. All right, so this should only take no longer than 2 minutes.
I'm not trying to draw every single detail, but we want to draw the parts that are obvious. Right? And there is your drawing of a hand.
Okay, so your assignment. When you're done with this video, you are going to draw 3 objects using the contour line method. You can use the same objects you used last time, or you can use different objects. Same rules apply. The object must be something you can hold in your hand. It should be 3-dimensional, and it should not be a flat object. So no rulers, no phones. Let's keep it 3D. Okay, so right after this, there will be a video coming up. It's me showing you an example. I'm going to be drawing 2 objects using the contour line method. And make sure that when you're doing this, you are focusing on the outline of the objects and only major details. If your object has writing on it, do not worry about the writing. We're just drawing a contour and major details. Okay, make sure that you take your time drawing the object, although each object shouldn't take more than 2 minutes. Okay, so shouldn't be finishing it in 30 seconds, but it should not take 2 more minutes to draw.
All right, so I want to show you 2 examples of how to do a contour line drawing for your assignment. So pretty much these are objects that you guys have seen in my room. They're not overly complicated, they're pretty simple. And even though there's all this art and writing, we're not going to focus on that. Remember, we're only focusing on drawing the outline of the object. So even though it's kind of hard for you to see, I'm making sure that I'm looking at the object more than my paper. So what you currently see is what my eye's looking at the moment. So in order to see something, you have to look at it slowly. So you should be drawing it slowly. And notice I haven't really lifted up my marker, which you can use for this. Oh, and I just lifted it up, but that's okay. And I'm drawing all the detail that I see. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to add these. Okay, so there's my bottle. All right, and you probably noticed that took 2 minutes. You shouldn't be spending any more time than that on one of these, but we don't want to do it in 30 seconds because that will be too quick. All right, now I'm drawing the paint. And it's almost empty, so it has a crease in it. And remember, you're working slowly. Try not to rush. And we are not worrying at all about shade. So I see that line. All right, and there is my paint. All right, so for your assignment, you're doing 3 of these from 3 objects that you find in your house.
Okay, And so when you finish, you're going to make sure to take a picture of the 3 objects and the hand. Okay, so there should be a total of 4 objects on your paper, or at least submitted to Google Classroom. Upload the Google onto Google before the end of the day. And please, 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 please make sure that you attach a file before you mark your work as done. Right? If you have any questions, you can reach me during office hours, or you can send me an email or a message on Pantoja. All right, so I will talk to you guys later this week when I upload the next assignment, which will be cross contour drawing.